Even now, as you sleep, a part of your mind remains ever watchful. This is your subconscious, a silent guardian that is always active, always attentive. It doesn't judge or deliberate. It doesn't weigh possibilities. It simply follows orders. Herein lies one of the greatest secrets of the human psyche. The subconscious cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined, yet it responds with absolute precision to the commands it is given. Imagine for a moment if every single night you could plant a seed within it, a seed so potent, so charged with intention, that it would be compelled to create the circumstances for that seed to become your reality. What would you ask for? What would you dare to dream? And more importantly, do you truly know how to communicate with this part of yourself to ensure it carries out your deepest wishes? Few people grasp that there is a specific moment each day when the gateway to the subconscious swings wide open. This moment isn't when you're busy or actively trying to concentrate. It is in that almost magical instant when your consciousness begins to fade and your body surrenders to sleep. In that space, the rational mind relaxes its grip, and the subconscious becomes as receptive as fertile soil, waiting for the right seeds. The tragedy is that most people squander this precious moment. They feed their subconscious a diet of confused, pessimistic, and fear-laden commands. Without realizing it, they are programming their own minds to repeat the same patterns, the same problems, and the same limitations. This occurs because the subconscious never questions your orders. If you tell yourself, "I can't do this," it obeys. If you say, "I never succeed," it accepts this as law. But when you learn to give the right command at the right time, it transforms into your most powerful ally. Joseph Murphy, one of the foremost researchers on the power of the subconscious mind, taught that we are constantly hypnotizing ourselves, either for success or for failure. It is in the moments just before sleep that this self-hypnosis is at its most profound and effective. During this time, every word, every mental image, and every sustained emotion becomes a direct instruction to your deepest mind. So, pause and reflect. What were the last thoughts or words you offered to your subconscious last night? Were they filled with gratitude, confidence, and positive expectation? Or were they laced with worry, fear, and doubt? If that question brings a sense of heaviness, you might be starting to see how you've been wasting this golden opportunity. But today, I will show you how to turn this moment into a powerful ritual. Throughout this video, you will learn the formula for crafting an irresistible command for your subconscious, ensuring it works for you while you sleep. You'll discover why some people seem perpetually lucky, when in reality they are simply using this technique, perhaps intuitively. You will understand how to merge emotion, imagery, and intention to make your request impossible for your own mind to ignore. Most importantly, at the very end, I will unveil the element that magnifies this entire process, the detail that separates a mere affirmation from an order that the subconscious is compelled to fulfill. This final revelation is the most powerful of all and could be the key you've been searching for to transform your life naturally, almost effortlessly. That is why I need you to stay with me until the very last second. And if this topic already resonates with you, if you feel an urgent need to learn this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate notifications, because this could be the content that changes everything for you. Oh, and if you know deep in your heart that it's time to take your life to the next level, there's a simple method I've linked in the first pinned comment that will accelerate this whole process. It's something you'll feel was made for you because it speaks directly to that invisible yet immensely powerful part of your mind. Now take a deep breath and prepare to see the act of falling asleep in a way you never have before. Because from this day forward, every night can become a chance to rewrite your destiny. When you grasp that the subconscious is a faithful servant that never sleeps or tires, your perspective shifts entirely. It is like a gardener, tending day and night to whatever you plant in it. But here is the crucial point. It does not choose the seeds, you do. And if you don't choose consciously, it will work with whatever it finds. The words you tell yourself, the images you mentally rehearse, the emotions you feel most often. Joseph Murphy compared the conscious mind to the captain of a ship and the subconscious to its crew. The captain gives the order, the crew carries it out. But imagine a distracted captain who gives thoughtless orders, or worse, no orders at all. The ship would simply drift, carried by the currents. This is precisely how many people live. They allow their crew, the subconscious, to operate without direction, following commands issued by fear, anger, and doubt. This is what makes the moment before sleep so potent. At that time, you are the captain with full authority to address the crew without interruption. The conscious mind, usually critical and full of filters, begins to quiet down. Rigid logic dissolves, and the doors to the subconscious swing open. It is at this point that you can plant the richest seeds, but these seeds must be clear, vivid, and charged with emotion. The subconscious doesn't understand vague requests. Telling it, "I want to be happy," is meaningless. But if you say, "I am living a life of peace, waking every morning with a smile, feeling deep gratitude for all that I have," and as you say it, you visualize yourself in that scene, feeling that joy in your body, then it understands. It records the image and begins to rearrange events to manifest it. Perhaps you're thinking, "But I've tried affirmations before, and they didn't work." This is where a detail Joseph Murphy emphasized comes in. It's not enough to speak the words. You must feel them. The subconscious responds to what you feel to be true. It's no use saying, "I am prosperous," if, deep down, you're afraid to check your bank statement. Emotion is the fuel that carries the message into the depths of your mind. Without emotion, words remain on the surface. This is why bedtime is the perfect time. You are naturally in a more emotional and less critical state. Your body is relaxed, and your mind is oscillating at a slower rhythm, known as the alpha or even theta state. It's as if you're half awake, half dreaming. Anything you imagine in this state penetrates the subconscious with far greater force than during the day. Imagine going to sleep tonight and instead of dwelling on work problems, bills, or arguments, you decide to create a mental movie of what you want to experience. You lie down, breathe deeply, and begin to imagine in full detail a scene representing your desire fulfilled. It's not about how it will happen, but that it has already happened. If you want a new house, don't just picture the key in your hand. Imagine yourself inside, smelling the air, touching the walls, looking out the window at the view. This practice, repeated night after night, reprograms the subconscious. It starts to accept this image as fact, and because it cannot distinguish the real from the imaginary, it begins working to align your life with that scene. This isn't magic in a mystical sense, but it is magic in a psychological and energetic sense. It is the law of attraction in action, amplified by the most powerful moment of the day. And here's something few people realize. The subconscious also obeys your most repeated emotions. If every night you go to sleep feeling fear, frustration, or anger, it will seek to create more experiences that match those feelings, because it understands that this is what you want. Is it cruel? Yes. But that's how it operates. Therefore, before falling asleep, you must shift your emotional state. If you can't imagine something grand at first, start simple. Choose a memory that makes you smile, something that sparks gratitude, even if it's just a quiet moment you once enjoyed. Hold that image, amplify that emotion. Then, introduce the scene you wish to create. Mix gratitude with expectation. It's like seasoning the seed before planting. It germinates faster. Joseph Murphy said the subconscious is like fertile ground. It will yield fruit from whatever you plant, be it a rose or a thorn. And every night before you sleep is your chance to choose what gets planted. Most people waste this chance because they don't know they're planting at all. They mentally replay the scenes that bothered them most during the day, not realizing this is a request for the subconscious to replicate them. Have you ever noticed how, after an unpleasant dream, your day seems to carry that same energy? It's no coincidence. When you fall asleep immersed in a negative emotional state, the subconscious amplifies it and draws it into your experience. But the good news is that the opposite is also true, and even more powerfully. Now, what if, every night, you consciously use this moment to program your mind for abundance, love, and health? What if you could create a sort of autopilot that works for you, even while you are in the deepest state of rest? This is the true power of what we'll call the night command. This command is not just a pretty phrase, it is a combination of words, emotion, and a mental image. You must feel it as if it were already real. You must speak it softly, as if giving an order to something very sensitive, yet with enough firmness that there is no room for doubt. And after giving the command, let it go. Don't try to figure out how it will happen. That is the crew's job, not the captain's. There's something even deeper you'll notice with practice. The subconscious doesn't just obey what you say, it begins to change who you are. Your choices, your posture, your opportunities. Everything starts to align with the new programming. And without noticing, you naturally become the person who lives the life you desired. That is why the last thing you think and feel before sleeping is perhaps the most important part of your entire day. It's like the final note of a song that echoes in your mind for hours. The subconscious will play this music repeatedly throughout the night, influencing your dreams, your rest, and even your body's chemistry. Here is where I want you to understand something Joseph Murphy advocated with conviction. Imagination is more powerful than willpower. You don't need to struggle to change your subconscious. You need to engage it with images and emotions so rich that it cannot resist. If you take this seriously, every night will become a golden opportunity to transform your life. You will fall asleep sending your subconscious a detailed map of the destination you want to reach. And sooner than you expect, you will realize that your life is following that exact route. And if you want to accelerate this process even more, you know what to do. The first pinned comment contains a method to enhance all of this and make your subconscious receive these messages even more intensely and profoundly. Just take the next step and try it. The final detail, the one that turns this practice from something interesting into something inevitable, lies in what you do after giving the command to your subconscious. Most people get lost here. They repeat phrases, imagine scenes, maybe even feel a flicker of emotion, but then they ruin it all by waking up the next day already immersed in worry, anxiety, or doubt. This is like planting a seed at night and then digging it up in the morning to see if it has started to grow. You kill the process before it even has time to begin. The subconscious does not operate on maybe. It requires absolute clarity. It needs to feel that you have already decided that this thing is yours. Therefore, the final key is this. After giving the command, release it. Let go. Trust. Joseph Murphy said that faith is accepting as true that which you cannot yet see. And that is exactly what you must do as you fall asleep. Feel as if you are already living it. And upon waking, maintain the peace of someone who knows their request has been received. It doesn't matter if there are no signs in the physical world yet. The subconscious is already at work, and the universe is already moving the pieces. But there's an even deeper point, one that many ignore. The subconscious obeys not just the words you speak, but primarily the state you are in when you speak them. And that state is built with emotion and conviction. That's why, in the moment before sleep, you must immerse yourself in the scene as if it were real. It's not just imagining, it's stepping into it like an actor who lives a story so intensely they forget who they are off stage. When you place yourself there, feeling every detail, your breathing changes, your muscles adjust, even your heartbeat syncs with the emotion. In that instant, the conscious mind is no longer in control, and the subconscious receives the message as a done deal. This is what makes manifestation nearly inevitable. And you know the most fascinating part? When this practice is done night after night, you begin to notice little coincidences appearing. People you needed to meet show up. Unlikely situations unfold in your favor. Doors that seemed locked swing open effortlessly. All because, silently, while you slept, your subconscious was rewriting the script of your life. However, there is a test here, which is why so few experience the full result. The test is to not give up when you see nothing happening yet. It is to keep giving the command with faith, even when the external world seems to contradict it. Because this is the point where most people self-sabotage. They change the command, they question it, they lose conviction, and the subconscious, ever obedient, adjusts its course according to this new, confused order. If you want this technique to work in an extraordinary way, treat it like a sacred pact with yourself. Choose what you desire with clarity, build the scene, immerse yourself in the emotion, and repeat it every night with the certainty that something invisible is moving. Then, in the morning, live as one who has already received. Your posture during the day is the confirmation that the command was accepted. Now, I want you to understand something you may have never considered. When you sleep with your mind immersed in what you desire, you are not just influencing your subconscious. You are also adjusting your vibrational energy. And according to the law of attraction, this vibration is what attracts similar experiences. In other words, you are not just programming your mind, you are becoming a magnet for what you desire. This means every night is a turning point. You can go to bed carrying the weight of your problems, or you can turn your pillow into a silent altar where you deliver the orders to your subconscious that will change your destiny. A simple choice, yet capable of altering everything. And here is the promise fulfilled. The most powerful revelation of all lies, not just in how you speak to the subconscious, but in who you are while you speak. If you want wealth, speak as one who is wealthy. If you want love, feel as one who is already loved. If you want peace, fall asleep as one who already lives in harmony. Because the subconscious doesn't question, it simply builds the reality that corresponds to the identity you hold. This is the final key. Do not ask as one who hopes. Command as one who already has. Transform the moment before sleep into your ritual of confirmation, not of seeking. This is what makes the subconscious not just obey, but hasten to comply. So tonight when you close your eyes, remember, this is the moment you cease to be someone with a desire and become someone who is already living the result. Breathe deeply, feel, declare, release, and allow your subconscious to work tirelessly while you dream to make this your new reality. If this message resonated with you, if it made sense in the deepest part of your being, then don't let it go. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. And if you want to go further, the path to dive deeper and accelerate this process is in the first pinned comment. This might be the missing piece for everything to fall into place, because in the end, the power isn't in the day or the night. It's in the moment you decide with your entire being that it's time to change. And that moment can be now.